Oh, we're live. Look, we really are live. This is Max behind that black screen. That's meant to be because this is sort of a radio thing, not a video thing. I don't have a picture of my ugly mug, so I've sort of shut the shutter most of the way on the camera. What I want to talk about is rats, squirrels, rodents of all varieties. I swear to God, what do you do? What do you do when you hear this going on under the floor of your bedroom? What do you hear? It's not in the house. It's something gnawing away. It's freaking rodent teeth. And I swear to God, I will find it. I will hunt it down and I will slaughter it with a smile on my face and a song in my freaking heart. My wife has planted bait around the house, things that they supposedly eat, and then the baking soda swells up inside them and they have constipation and die. I've got a better idea. It's called a snap trap. It's a snap trap. Little rat gets in there. What's this? Little food? What's this? Or, that's what I want to see. But she says, no, you can't do that. And I'm not going to argue the reason why or why not. But I guarantee you, I'm going to slip some traps in there. I've got a couple of hybrids that'll nail this bastard, even a squirrel. That's good. That's fine. You understand, if you have this gnawing under your house, don't just let it slide. They will eat through wiring, causing short circuits. They can set fire to your house with arcs from the wiring they've chewed. They possess diseases, fleas, mites, ticks. How about a case of Rocky Mountain spotted fever? You want some Lyme disease? You want the plague from fleas and mites? Rats, field rats, wild rats, squirrel. All a squirrel is a rat with a furry tail. That's all. So I'm going to have to set my traps because she won't do it. And you know the worst part is sometimes you can tell your spouse too much. You can say too much. Honey, I'm going to go and trap those little bastards right now. Can't do that. Don't say anything. Just quietly get it done. Plant your traps. Watch your traps. Work around your schedule. Now let's get rats out of the way. Let's talk about other rats. Talk about Venezuela. Now, I have heard some interesting things from my sources in China, and this may give validity to what President Trump did when he invaded Venezuela. This is what they're talking about. Secret negotiations, not so secret, between communist China and Caracas about establishing a Chinese military presence in the form of one or two warships in Venezuela, possibly even a submarine pen. Now, we know that Russia has been keeping a submarine on a rotational basis in Cuba. So we've already got the bad guys with the weapons, with the nuclear submarines. We've already got them in the Gulf of America. We've got them porting into Cuba. And now it seems Venezuela wanted to get into partnering with the Chinese. I think that if that is true, and it may very well be so, that would be the real explanation as to why we invaded Venezuela. All right, we know it wasn't the drugs. All this talk about the drugs, the politicians know better. They're treating us like the shit they've always treated us. They think we'll believe anything that comes out of their mouths, like President Trump saying, it's all about the drugs, the real bad drugs. We have to stop them. If that was the case, it wouldn't be the freaking drugs in Venezuela. We get 10 times that much in from Mexico. He'd be dropping bombs on Mexico City or kidnapping del presidente. But he's not doing that. He went for Venezuela, which has the largest oil reserves in the world, and which has been providing, 95% of Venezuelan oil has gone to China. China buys a lot of oil. They sell some to Cuba. A recent attempt to take this third oil tanker into custody failed when they changed their port of registry to Russia. They painted a Russian flag, radioed Russia. Russia said, okay, you're not in. All of a sudden, the U.S. Coast Guard backs the hell off. They'll mess with Venezuelan registry, but they're not going to screw around with Russia or China. Is that good? I don't know. Is it bad? I don't know. What I do know is this. We've got rats in Congress, rats in the Senate, rats in Venezuela, rats in Cuba. Who are we going to kidnap next? What do you think? How about Kim Jong-un of North Korea? How about the Ayatollah who runs Iran? How about this mouthy little presidente in Mexico? Any world leader we don't like? You know what? Why don't we kidnap Volodymyr Zelensky? That little bastard isn't going to say anything. He doesn't want a peace treaty. He has torpedoed the last several efforts by throwing something in at the last minute because in my humble, not so humble opinion, that sack of crap is raking in the money because for him, war is profit. You understand? War is profit. The dude, all right, how else can the president, the prime minister of an itty-bitty country like Ukraine, salaried $240,000 a year, how can he suddenly be able to purchase 2 villas on the French Riviera? How is he capable of investing in a casino in Macau as a listed partner? Where's the money coming from? Well, let me think a minute. Ukraine has become the 9th largest arms market in the world because a lot of what we gave them, we don't give them anymore. And what Europe's given them, a lot of it's they turn around and they sell it. Put the money in the pocket. We gave them billions. You think we got one stinking receipt for all the billions of dollars we poured sand down a rat hole as we caused Ukraine? By the way, while there are no good guys in this war, the worst bad guy is Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine. The guy fired the first shot. He instigated the first violence. He continually torpedoes peace efforts. He fights an offensive fight against Russia, which is fighting a purely defensive. And even though Russia's fighting a defensive war, Ukraine is losing 11 men for every man that Russia loses. Do you understand? 11 to 1. One Russian dies, about 11 Ukrainians die. That is not sustainable. It is a war that never could. If they pissed Russia off, if Russia wanted to get offensive, they would own Ukraine by next weekend. Artillery, armor, ground troops, air support, and they would totally smother Ukraine into a pile of dust. I have great respect for the Ukrainian people, their society, their culture. But when this guy, Volodymyr Zelensky, a failed stand-up comedian, got in, thank you, CIA, for helping with the vote count. Oh, yeah, we know what that's like. We're Americans. Gee, we wouldn't know what cheating on the vote is. We wouldn't know what voter fraud is. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Biden did make president. Okay. So they're no worse than we are. Here, the Dems and the deep state put Joe Biden in, even though he didn't win. And in Ukraine, they put Volodymyr Zelensky in, even though he didn't win. I'm beginning to see a parallel here. How about you? Guys, I've been able to rant about rats. Rats in Ukraine, rats in Moscow and in Russia, rats in China, rats in Venezuela, rats in Cuba, rats in North Korea, rats in Iran. It all boils down to this simple thing. Let America protect America and her direct interests, and let the rest of the world kiss our left hip. If you mess with us, we wipe you out and get on with it. What do you think?